the Heart Connection podcast, lovelies. This is a place to connect, to inspire, to heal, and to empower you to live a healthy, happy, and purposeful life from your heart. I'm Pavlina Jirushkova, your host. I'm an intuitive health and life coach, and I help women to connect to themselves, to step into their power and their purpose, and to heal from within. I believe that all issues we are experiencing in life, physical, mental, and emotional, arise from being disconnected from your heart, from your true self, and I'm going to help you to open your mind, to connect to your heart, and to heal from within. So let's dive right in. Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of the Heart Connection podcast. Today, the topic I want to talk about is balancing the physical and the non-physical, because it's something I've been working on a lot myself lately, and I've been talking about with some of my friends as well. And I notice it with my clients also. It doesn't matter if you're working on healing a physical issue or some other issue, or if you're just on a spiritual or self-development journey. But often people make the mistake that they focus either just on the physical or just on the non-physical. And it's important to focus on both, to pay attention to both the physical and the non-physical and find balance between them. And like I mentioned, on my healing journey, I experienced, and it's the same for many other people. I know that in the beginning, when one is on a self-development journey, on a healing journey, on a spiritual journey, that one might just focus on one of them. For me, it was in the beginning, I used to focus a lot on the physical, on healing my body. And that might be the same for a lot of people, because let's be honest, we all live in a physical world, and that's what most of us know. It's only the physical dimension. It's your body. And if you want to get better, you focus on your body or changing the outside circumstances, and you don't focus on the inside as much. So when I first started dealing with my health issues in the past, I would focus especially on my diet, changing what I eat and all these other things, because that's what you read. Like when you start doing your research, or when you start listening to what other people say, is to what you need to do first is to heal your gut. If you want to heal your body, you need to focus on healing your body. And it is, of course, it's an option, but it can take a very long time, or it can be not as effective to heal your body or heal yourself by only focusing on the physical. And for me, the healing started happening when I started focusing on healing myself from the inside out, focusing on the energetic part, because we are energetic beings. We are energy living in a physical body, and we need to focus on both. So all parts of us, it's not just the physical, non-physical, it's body, mind, and soul. And so once I started focusing on healing myself from the inside out, unblocking where my energy wasn't flowing, focusing on my subconscious blocks, on my energetic blocks, my emotional blocks, and unblocking them and healing them, and working on my mindset and all these other things started changing, and my body started healing. But all this journey led me to focusing more on the energetic part, and I started thinking that diet is not as important, or that, focusing on healing the physical part of you is not as important. I thought if you would just be focusing on unblocking the problems, or finding the problems on the energetic level, on the subconscious level, and healing them there, that it won't be as important to work on your physical body. Although I've had some physical issues my whole life, and I've struggled with an eating disorder in the past, and the relationship with my body has always been a bit complicated. But especially after my spiritual awakening, when I realized I'm not just my body, it was almost easier to focus only on the inside and stop focusing on the outside. I would still, I would still do yoga, and I would still eat healthy in a way, but I would more focus on my meditations, my energy work, my connection to my inner voice, my soul, and I wasn't focusing on my body very much. And the same with my clients, when I discovered inner voice and started using inner voice coaching with my clients, I thought, once I discovered this, that I would only use this method when working with my clients. But I soon realized that it's not just black and white, it's different for everyone. And at the same, like I said, we all live in a physical world, so it's also important to focus on the mind, focus on the body, and support the body and the mind, and connect all of them together, and approach the healing or the journey holistically. And it's important to find balance between them. And this realization has taken a while for me, and it's been only recently, or quite recently, that I have been realizing more and more that I need to support my body more, because over the last year and a half, pretty much since COVID started, I was focusing a lot on my inside world, and I would focus more on following my guidance, following my inner voice, and I was feeling a bit lost. I was feeling like I don't know what to do with myself. What's the point of even being here in the physical world? What's the purpose of all of this? Because I knew that it's not all there is, and I wasn't sure what am I even doing here, and the messages that were coming weren't very clear for me. But over the last few months, I really realized that we do live in a physical world. Although, like I said, we are energetic beings, and our true self is much more than just the physical body we live in. It's still important to support your body and nourish your body and take care of your body, And so lately I've been again focusing more on nourishing my body with good quality diet, focusing more on eating a balanced diet, a whole diet. Especially during winter of 2020, 2021, I almost stopped caring about what my body needs. I wasn't paying so much attention, because my inner voice would tell me, have the chocolate, have the ice cream, because it's sweet, it tastes good and makes me feel good. But your inner voice, your soul only lives in the now. And of course you feel good for a while when you have the ice cream, when you have the chocolate, or when it's fine, but don't overdo it. I was struggling to find the balance. And for me, always when I'm eating sugar, then I tend to get addicted quite quickly. And I would always go into eating it more regularly, and over time I would not feel good. It doesn't feel good for me. It doesn't feel good for my body to eat sugar regularly, to eat sugar every day. I start feeling yucky. I don't feel well. I tend to put on weight quite easily, and it just doesn't feel good. And I don't like the feeling of being addicted to something as well. And for me, and I spoke about this on last week's podcast, if you want to change something and overcome a resistance, then it's necessary to decide that you want to change. And it comes more easily to me the more I make these decisions, the more I focus on changing again and implementing the habits that are important for me and the routines, and choosing to focus on nourishing my body and not the short-term pleasure. I might still, I went on holiday recently and I still would have the ice cream there, or it doesn't mean that now I don't want to eat sugar at all. Like, there might be a time where I don't eat it and then I might start eating it again. Right now, I don't want to have sugar regularly. I don't want to have gluten regularly, because we have a short-term memory, and we quickly, at least for me, it's like that. We quickly slip into old habits. So once I start eating sugar, once I start eating, for example, bread or other things that are made from gluten or from wheat flour, that I get into the habit of doing it more regularly. And like I said, over time, I start feeling a bit yucky quite quickly. I don't feel well in my body. And although I don't even have, I don't even have a gluten sensitivity anymore. I used to be quite sensitive to gluten. It's not like that, but just eating gluten a lot, it feels sticky. It doesn't feel good in my body. So again, I might have it once in a while. I might have bread once in a while. I don't want to say I will never have bread again, or I will never have pasta again, or I will never have ice cream again. I will have it now and then, but I don't want to eat it on a regular basis, because it just doesn't make me feel good. And that's the choice I'm making. It doesn't mean that it's the same for you, but that's how I'm supporting my body, because that's how I know. That's what I know, that it feels good in my body, And I also started focusing more on exercise, which I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast. I definitely mentioned it on social media and in my Facebook group, in the Heal to Thrive community, that over lockdown, especially in winter, I wasn't feeling like moving my body at all. And I don't know what it was, because I was just feeling really tired. I felt like I had no energy and I had so much resistance to exercising. And I would just focus more on, I would go still for walks and stuff, but I had so much resistance. And that's again like falling into the old ways. And then all of a sudden I realized that I'm not feeling well because I put on some weight, and it was, the more you get out of it, the harder it is to get back into it. So, but like I said last week, once you decide to change it, once you decide to take consistent action and set the intention that you want to do it, then it's quite, at least for me, and that's what tends to work for other people as well, that once you decide and set the intention and take consistent action, you still need to take the action every day to, do it every day. Take focus every day on the things that are important for you, that are important for supporting your body, for supporting your health. And when you focus on movement, when you focus on nourishing your body, then everything else tends to fall into place as well. Because when you're moving your body, you're moving energy in your body. There might be if there's deeper issues, of course, it's necessary to go deeper and work on unblocking and releasing these things consciously. But just for the general maintenance, energetic and physical maintenance, and so important to move the body, move the energy. And for me, when I move my body regularly, everything else seems to be easier. It's easier to eat better. It's easier to focus on what's important. I tend to be more positive. I tend to be more productive. I will feel like I want to meditate more often, and all of these things. It's like a snowball. Once you start taking care of the body, everything else start falling into place as well. But it's not enough. Like I said, you need to find balance between the two. But taking care of the physical first and foremost, that's where you need to start. And then you can work on the other parts as well. So, working on your mindset as well. And that's sometimes quite difficult for people who go through a spiritual awakening, that you realize that you're not the mind, and that there is more to that there is more to you, that there is more to the world, that, you're not just the physical body, you're not just the mind, but that you can actually get out of the mind, and that you can go within and connect to your soul, connect to your inner voice, and that the mind is pretty much just a tool to function in the physical world. And everything that's going on in your mind, you can change. You can work on your mindset, you can change it, but you can also just not pay attention to the thoughts you have. It takes practice. It definitely takes practice. There's different practices, you can do through meditation, through mindset practices, and so on and so on. Just by realizing, when you realize that you in a mind loop, that you in a reactive mode, especially when emotions are involved, when there's something that's upsetting for you, when someone, your boyfriend, your husband, or a coworker, or one of your parents or your children, whoever, it doesn't matter, when they do something and, for example, you get angry or you get upset, or, this loop starts happening in your head, these old thoughts come up, these limiting beliefs come up, the mind patterns that you have formed over time during your life keep happening, and you just in the same mind that you were during your childhood or last year, yesterday, and the same thought patterns keep happening. And only when you realize that you're not the mind and you start paying attention to them, and you maybe when you realize that you're in a reactive mode, that you take a deep breath and stop yourself in the reactive mode. Stop yourself from reacting. Instead, take a deep breath and respond in a conscious way. That's already the first step to changing this and, getting out of the mind. And there's, like I said, so many ways how you can get out of the mind, but just the realization that you're not the mind is so important. And then you can work consciously on getting out of the mind every day. Even if you start meditating for 5 or 10 minutes a day and you just start watching your thoughts instead of being your thoughts, you can distance yourself from the mind and just start observing. And by focusing either on your breath or on a mantra or something else, and just not paying attention to your thoughts, by not getting absorbed by your thoughts, and finding the space in between thoughts as well, creating more space, creating longer pauses in between thoughts, and just observing them. By that, you are already working on your mindset, you are already working on distancing yourself from the mind. And you can also use different techniques to change your mind, to change your thoughts, to change your limiting beliefs and reprogram the mind patterns. There's many ways how you can do that. I use EFT with my clients. I use different mindset techniques. I use different mindfulness techniques. There's so many things you can do, but just creating, getting out of the mind. So focusing on the physical body, supporting the physical body, realizing that you're not the mind, and then focusing on the non-physical as well. So following your guidance, meditating, connecting to your inner voice, but doing it in a way that supports you. Because like I said, after my spiritual awakening and over the last couple of years, what was happening for me a lot was that I just wasn't sure what to do, because, I read a lot of books and I followed a lot of people who are either enlightened or who are way more advanced than I am. And I would also try to follow my inner guidance, but it was confusing a lot of the time and I couldn't find the right way. It was so difficult for me just to follow my inner voice without focusing on the physical, and it was hard to be, in my relationship, to talk to my family. I felt like I'm in this bubble, like I'm an alien, because I felt like I had people I could talk to about this, because I know a lot of people from my inner voice facilitator training. I know I have friends who went through spiritual awakening as well and who are on the same wavelength. And a lot of them experience the same, that they are disconnected from the outside world. They feel like nobody else understands them around them. And a lot of us tend to, lose friends or get disconnected from people we used to hang out with, and we feel alone. And to be honest, thanks God for the online world and for the internet, because it's so easy to connect to other people who are going through the same thing as you are. There's so many ways and that's why most of my friends are online these days, because I don't have as many friends close to me who are living in Prague or in the Czech Republic or at least not so many I know who went through the same thing I did, or, who are conscious, who are awakened. And although there might be a lot of people, but I don't know that many. So it was such a blessing for me that I was able to connect to a lot of people who I now call my friends, who live in different parts of the world, who live in the States, who live in Australia, who live in different parts of the world, in the UK and so on. And some of them I already met in person since we met online, and that's been beautiful. But even just connecting to people online on Zoom or whatever platform you use, it's so helpful. So there's different ways how you can connect to like-minded people, and that's so helpful when you can get the support from people who know how you're feeling and talk about it. And that's one of the reasons why I also created my Facebook community, Heal the Tribe Soul Sisters, where all of you are welcome. If you don't have a community where you can talk about these things, if you're feeling alone, if you feel like you don't have any friends you can talk to about these things, then definitely please do join. I will definitely include the link in the show notes so you can easily join the Facebook community. It's free, and you can reach out and find like-minded people there if you wish, and you can share your struggles. I'm sure there's a lot of people who have gone through a similar thing or through the same thing, and yeah, it's so helpful if you can talk to other people about it. And there's so many of us around the world, especially women who have awakened in the last few years and who have struggled to come to terms with it and to find like-minded people. And it's part of it. It's part of finding the balance. It's part of getting the support group. It's part of talking about it, sharing, hearing other people's stories. And it's so beautiful. So definitely, if you're feeling alone, or, if you feel the need to find like-minded people and share your experience and talk about it, please do join. And part of this journey, like whatever you're going through or whatever you went through, is there's always a purpose in what you're going through, what you went through. If you have experienced any physical health issues, any chronic health issues, or if you have not, it doesn't matter. If you're going through a spiritual awakening or whatever is the reason why you're listening to this, there's always a purpose. There's always a reason to what you're going through. And that's the whole purpose of this life you are living, or we are all living, that we are all learning from our struggles. We are all learning, growing, evolving. And for me, what I realize, and it's like that for a lot of people definitely, that always physical symptoms are a sign that you are disconnected from your true purpose, that you are disconnected from your true self, you're disconnected from your soul. And it's important to start recognizing that you have these symptoms, and that, doctors might tell you that there is a physical reason, there is a genetical reason, there is it's a hereditary problem. A lot of the time they don't even know, because, to be honest, on the physical level, there's a lot of the times there's no explanation why you have some kind of symptoms, or why you have whatever health issues you are experiencing. I keep saying it doesn't matter what the label is, what doctors or scientists call the disease you have, whatever it is, the illness, whatever you have. But the important thing is what's underneath it, what's behind it, why you have these symptoms, and there's always the reason is always within, and there's always messages underneath the symptoms, and it's just the symptoms are just the way your body is giving you messages, is giving you signals, and recognizing these messages and these signals and starting to ask questions what they mean and what your soul, what your body is telling you, because all of this is connected. By listening to these messages and following the guidance, you can grow, you can learn, and you can also heal. And it's definitely a journey for me and everyone else, and I keep going deeper and deeper and following my guidance and following the messages. And there have been a lot of times I thought I'm already healed, I've found the ultimate solution, and then something else come up. And although I healed a lot of my health issues, I keep talking about my eczema that would still flare up now and then. And what I want to share now, and it's still quite fresh, so I don't know how it will evolve over time, but I shared with you recently that last month I went to a soul therapy training. And I'm now certified as a soul therapist. And what it is it focuses on ancestral healing and then past life healing and healing on the soul level. Like I said, soul therapy. So since then, because during the training, part of it was working also on ourselves, and I went really deep into, I think, like 10 different past lives. And part of it was also healing the underlying cause of my eczema, which I had since I was a baby, since I was born. And we went to healing my eczema. We started healing it on the level of when I was in my mom's belly, so the prenatal level. Then we went into past lives. We went to healing the ancestral line of the female line of my ancestors, so my mom and my grandmother and so on, and so much more. And I have to say that since then, and I have to touch wood, my eczema hasn't flared up. It hasn't been that long. It's only been about a month. So I don't know what's gonna happen after, but I feel really good about it. And I just had a client today who I used the soul therapy with, who also struggled with eczema since early childhood, and it was so beautiful to use it with her as well. And we did a similar thing. We healed her female line. We went into prenatal. We went into a past few lives where this problem started, and it was really gentle. There was a really nice release, and she was feeling so good afterwards. And I'm really curious to hear her experience, because in the training it wasn't fully focused only on physical healing. There's a lot of people come to soul therapy because they want to heal childhood trauma, or they want to heal something else. They want to heal relationships. They want to heal something that they can't explain. They tried a lot of different things. And that was the same for me. I thought, I went through so many different therapies. I'm certified in so many different modalities, and every time I went deeper and deeper, and so many times I thought that I would be healed already, that my eczema would be healed already. But this time it maybe feels a bit different. And also last weekend I went to visit my in-laws who have 4 kittens, and I used to be really allergic to cats, and I can't help it but cuddle the kittens. And last time we went there, before I went through the soul therapy training, my eczema flared up quite badly and my hands were so inflamed. And this time my eczema didn't flare up. So even healing allergies or, different chronic health issues that are quite hard to heal, even with other modalities I use, especially these chronic health issues or chronic illnesses that are so ingrained, like some childhood health issues or problems that you had your whole life or that are in your family that are so-called hereditary problems. Because for me, like, my mom had eczema, both of my grandmothers, and so on. And especially these problems tend to run in the families with allergies as well. So I think this kind of healing, this kind of therapy is another tool in my toolbox. I am really excited about adding to the tools I have. And because I'm so excited about it, I want to give you an opportunity to try out soul therapy with me. I want to do a few single sessions, even though I normally don't do single sessions with clients anymore. But because I'm so excited about this modality, I want to offer a few single sessions in the next few weeks. So if you are interested, make sure you check out the link in the show notes. I will include the link where you can book the single session for soul therapy with me. There will be a limited amount of these sessions. So if you're interested, make sure you book soon, because they might run out. I don't know how many exactly I will do, but I will definitely do maybe 3 or 5, maybe more in the next few weeks. So just go to the link and you can book the session there if you're interested. But in the future, I will just include soul therapy, this kind of therapy, this type of modality in my long-term program. So I don't normally do single sessions. So this is really a unique opportunity to try it if you want to. And if it's something that's really resonating with you, go ahead and book the session. And I'm excited to work with those of you who will book it, because right now I'm really excited about this modality and to include it into working with my regular clients as well. Coming back to the topic, balancing the physical and the non-physical, I think it's different for everyone. It might be different for you to find the balance, and I'm still on the journey of finding the balance, and it might be different every day as well. But just by focusing on all or both of them, the physical and non-physical, by focusing on supporting your body, taking care of your body, nourishing your body, but as well on getting out of the mind and connecting to your soul, connecting to your intuition, connecting to the messages and following your guidance, meditating and so on. And moving the energy in your body. And if there is any blocked energy, focusing on unblocking it by either working with someone who will help you through different modalities. Like one of the ways I use, like soul therapy is a new modality, but often I use EFT for unblocking unblocking blocks that are standing in the way of your healing, or that are standing in the way of some issues that you are experiencing. And there's many other modalities. I sometimes use inner voice as well for unblocking, and there's many more ways how you can do that. But, just focusing on the physical and non-physical every day, even if it's, 20 minutes of movement and 5 to 10 minutes of meditation, or even 20 minutes of meditation. It doesn't have to take ages. It doesn't have to take long. It can just be focusing on the physical for part of your routine, and on the non-physical, you can combine the two. Certainly, for example, yoga combines all of them. But just set the intention, consciously decide that you want to do that, because it's so important to support your body, but connect to your true essence as well, connecting to your soul, connecting to the universe as well. It's so important. So where the balance is, it might be a bit different for you than for me or for someone else, but just focus on finding the balance, finding what is it for you, how you can support. And you can ask for guidance as well. You can ask your inner voice for guidance. How can you support your body today? How can you support other parts of you today? It might be to drink more water, or it might be to focus on eating more vegetables or more fruit or more whatever it is right now. And keep connecting to your heart. So that's the message for today, my friends, my lovelies. If you do have any questions, please get in touch. If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe to the Heart Connection podcast. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear how you liked it. If you have any takeaways, you can come share your takeaways with me on Instagram at Pavlina.Jiroušková, or you can, rate and review the podcast. That would mean so much to me, and that also helps to get the podcast out there for more people to listen to it, to find out about it. So I would be grateful for any reviews, any ratings, if you subscribe, or if you let me know. And like I said, if you interested in booking a soul therapy session with me, make sure you go to the link in the show notes and book it soon, because there won't be too many sessions. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for being here, and thank yourself for taking the time for yourself and to learn something maybe new. Maybe you will, after this, include some of the things I suggested into your daily routine, so you will take some inspiration. If so, please let me know. I would love to know. And until next time, sending you so much love from my heart to yours, and I will talk to you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye. This episode was brought to you by my signature Deep Healing Program. The One-on-One Deep Healing Program is a high-level 6-month coaching and intuitive healing program for women with chronic health issues such as eczema, autoimmune disease, digestive or hormonal issues. If you are ready to connect to your true self, to step into your power and to heal from within, this program is for you. You can finally have an understanding of what your body and your soul need to heal on all levels. You will learn proven tools to get you there, and you will receive ongoing support from me throughout your healing journey. Together, we will uncover and unblock the underlying causes of your health issues so you can start living a healthy, happy, fulfilled, and purposeful life. So are you ready to take responsibility for your own health and well-being and to heal from within? Just head over to www.pavlinajiroušková.com and schedule a discovery call with me. I'm so excited to hear from you.